Hello, dear friends. Today it's me and uh, okay. Hello, dear friends. Today it's me and Klim. You are going to talk about several controversial topics in English language. So welcome, Klim, and let's get started. So please, if you do not understand the definition of the question, the meaning of the question, ask me. I will uh, tell it to you. Okay.
Okay, no
So
problem.
the first question is going to be about social problems. So is it fair, is it just to expect people to take drug tests in order to receive government assistance?
Mm, can you repeat the question? It is
Is it fair? Do you know just and fair?
справедливость.
Yes, справедливо.
Uh-huh.
Okay, is it fair if, for example, I am a drug addict and if I want to receive some help from the government, I need to take a drug test with whether I take drugs or not? Is it fair? And
Mm,
now they know like everything about me, for example, that I'm a drug addict and I took this much drug and I'm in this kind of like health condition. Is it okay? Is it fair?
about what help?
Drug addict?
No.
Drugs?
I understand what is a drug addict. Okay, drug addict person want what for government? Want
Take receive help, receive assistance, maybe some expensive drugs to, for example, rehab in some centers or
okay.
hospitals, or maybe at home, like
Mm,
receive some care. Who knows? Like
okay,
several assistance from.
I understand you. It is so interesting question, and the answer on this question depend on in what country this situation happened. If you talk about countries of Europe Union, I think in these countries, in the biggest part of them, it is not it is not
Weird, strange.
it is not strange. No. It is not. It is
Okay.
not necessary for all drug addict people. But if you talk about Russia, it is necessary for drug addict people because Russian government hate drug addict citizens, and this government doesn't support them, doesn't want to help them. For Russian government, drug addict people, it is something strange, it is something harmful for society. But for Europe countries, the position of government another, because this government want to help. They understand that drug addict it is something. It is something like. Mhm.
Like a disease, like a flu, like a
Yeah,
cold, right?
not like flu, like a cancer. It is
Like cancer.
yeah, it is something super difficult problem in somebody's life, and I person could not solve to this problem with with myself or with yourself with
Alone, individually,
alone. Yeah,
on
individually.
his own.
That is why in Europe countries um, in Europe countries, if some person with a drug addict want to want something on the government, drug addict analyze, no, not analyze. Test is not necessary.
Test.
Test
Test is
not
not necessary.
yeah. in my opinion.
Okay, in your opinion, is it fair to take tests or not?
No, in my opinion, it is not fair because I try to discuss about this. In my opinion, drug addict it is something like a cancer. It is the problem. It is so big problem for big millions of people on our planet, and these millions of people could not solve this problem by themselves.
Okay, I agree with you. I agree with you in this case. Like on the other hand, I think it makes us vulnerable though. But I think on the like yes, on the one hand, it makes us vulnerable because now like everybody knows about our weaknesses, and on the other hand, I think it helps us better. It helps us, so it helps us to get better faster, and it also helps the government and government entities to take a better care about our health. In my opinion, on the other hand, don't you think so?
Maybe can you understand? Can you explain me why for drug addict, if drug addict people want to change their life, why they should do drug addict test? I don't understand this. If drug addict test is positive, what is the next step? The government will help them. If it is
Yes.
negative, the government wouldn't help them. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
It is interesting question, and before our lesson, I never think about this.
Okay. So, next one. Has technology had an impact on the level of laziness in society?
What the technology could analyze the level of
Influence, impact. Has technology had an impact, an influence on the level of laziness in society? Made us lazier.
Could technology impact on the level of laziness in our society? Yes.
Okay, how?
How? Okay. I think that this impact more interesting for super big companies, and for example, special technologies could analyze the time management of employees in these big companies, and the result of this analysis will be information about how employees spend their work day. I think it is possible. Because computer technologies are nowadays more smart than people, than humans. And for computer technologies, it will be much more easier to analyze the working day of thousands of people than for humans like you and me. And of course, I support this idea because, in my opinion, the big part of employees spend their working day not for their company. They could do everything, but everything about their private life, but they. On another hand, they could spend their working day for making some good for their company. And of course, in this case, I support the idea of impact technologies on our society, of on the laziness level in our society. You agree with me, man?
In the majority, most of the people, I think you are right in this case. For example, like if we when we were children, kids, and playing in the ground and so on, in the playgrounds or stadium or somewhere or in the streets, okay, when we walk up, okay, we did not have our phones like in our bedside tables just to check up. For example, like what is going on? Are there new videos on TikTok? Are there any videos on YouTube? Okay, what is going on? New cartoons and so on. We walk up, and the first thing that we did was like going to the bathroom, for example, which is a little far from our bedroom. And after that, we started doing some exercises and taking care of some like chores in our houses. And after that, we started like going to school or somewhere else or taking care of some other things. Or if it were, for example, playing games, we would go out and in the streets or stadium somewhere else and started to play with other kids. But nowadays, for example, it is very hard. For example, I heard a lot of the times, and it was for me very surprising, and like I wondered why some parents complain that their children do not want to take the trash out of their houses. Just taking the trash out of their houses, they're so like again to take a trash out. And when you look at the level of the laziness, like in these people, that is very saddening.
Yeah.
It makes you very sad. But we were
Yes,
different.
I think that in the future, this generation of children will have so big problems about their life, about their work, about their friends, and other problems. Because, in my opinion, if somebody wants to be smart person, person with a big amount of friends, or maybe somebody really wants to develop our society, um, I could give only one advice. The key for all the things is so big work every day, in my
Yes,
opinion.
a lot of work. A lot of work every day, like individually on your in your personal and professional life. I 100% agree with you in this case. I can give you, for example, several examples that uh, let's imagine I offered some services, and like the other day I was like super tired, and thanks to this technology I do everything that I do every day, and even my job like online on the internet and so on, using technology and internet services. And like what very bad night, and I got an offer like for a service, and they offered me like, for example, let's say $100. And right now, $100 for Russia, it's 10,000 rubles. It's nice money. And it took me like 1.5. I'm not gonna lie, 1.5 hour. Like in the best form, I did the job and I got $100 thanks to the technology. But
Amazing.
this is not most people. It's like
Mm-hmm.
very small. As an English teacher, so $100 for like big money. And some people, most people do not do this. Most people do not use. And for most people, this statement is 100% true. They are misusing it, and the technology owners and producer are, for example, mispurposing all these technologies. And I think in our hands.
I don't know. Okay, I support this idea that everything in our hands, but I really don't understand that why the parents of such children who spend their free time at home in their smartphones, why they and why they don't do anything with their children. I don't know why.
Neither do I. Okay.
Maybe for it is another problem that a lot of parents I try. It is so simple nowadays to born a child, but it is so difficult to mm, to um, to develop your child. It is much more difficult than only do it.
We will see. I agree with you. It is also difficult and it is hard. It doesn't matter how you look at it, whether you provide the child with everything or whether you do not provide them, whether you are harsh and strict or whether you are easygoing and funny. So in all cases, there are, for example, downsides and upsides. Okay. So in this case, I think we agree that like it can have big effects, but only the positive effects. It can have positive effects only on a small contingent of the society, and on the most, yeah, it makes them lazier. Okay. And the next one is very like good question as well. I can say, should the death penalty still exist? Do you know death
Yes, it is
penalty?
penalty пенсия, это дотат.
Penalty.
Налог.
Казнь.
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 Да, должна ли существовать смертная казнь все еще in our world?
In my opinion, death penalty, it is something from the past.
Okay.
Because I understand that there are a lot of bad people in our world who killed so big amount of people, but I think it is much more difficult to spend 30 years in prison. Then, on the other hand, the government would kill you in one day. I
Getting
think,
killed.
yeah. And that is why I never support the idea of death penalty. And of course, every person, every human have
Mhm.
their have mm, have rights and only God could give life him, and only God could end this life. And but the government, it is not the same with the God. That is why I think that death penalty should be banned in all countries in our world.
In our world. Okay. Good observation. Observation. I agree with you. So let's go to the next one then. What could next one be? So should voting be required for all citizens? You know what? Do you know voting?
No.
Vote when you vote for in a presidential elections, you vote for your president, for candidates
Voting. Okay.
in
Okay.
elections. When there is
Yeah.
presidential elections, like in Russia, will be in 2024.
Okay.
So
I
vote, it
understand.
means yes, give your vote.
And
Should voting should be required for all citizens, like all citizens should go and vote.
I think it is impossible because it is so hard to find all citizens in country. Yeah, because who knows, maybe somebody went abroad in some period. Maybe somebody don't want doesn't want.
Some people don't want.
Some people don't want to support the political system in this country, and that is why I think this idea is something is impossible.
It's impossible. Okay. Okay, like in your opinion, how many percentage of people usually vote in elections?
It depends on country. I
Let's
think
take Russia.
in Russia, we can check this information in the net. About you want to find information about president or about
How many percentage of the population vote for the president
mhm,
for in
okay.
presidential elections?
Okay, let's check. The last president elections in Russia was in 2018 year, and
Mm-hmm.
67.54% of citizens in Russia
Voted.
voted. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Amazing.
I
I think
think
that
it
is
is
good.
it is good, but it is so high in my opinion. Well, I don't know how these guys did it.
Okay. So maybe the guy did not, for example, have the right information, the right
Maybe,
intel. Who knows?
maybe I think it is um, some magic in this process.
Article.
Yeah.
Okay, you said it is impossible. If it is possible, for example, they can organize, let's say, groups in like all the
Mhm.
countries, 100, let's say 50 countries where the citizens of this country might live. They can send 150 people and centers in those countries to take the vote of all the citizens of this country. Certain country, let's take, for example, Russia, or let's take Brazil, and or they can organize in nowadays, for example, an online website where they can
Mhm.
leave their votes. So, what do you think in this case? Should it be required for all the citizens?
It will be amazing because
Everybody will feel that they are heard, right?
yeah, and everybody will feel a part of this important decision for our country, for another country, and it will be amazing. And I think that this system will help us to choose a really good management in Russia or another country.
Yes. Okay.
Government management.
Very good head of the government that can manage the country and the population, the politics of the country
Yeah,
very well, right?
yeah.
I agree with you. So let's continue then to the next question. Next one is going, should the voting age be lowered? Now it is, I think, 18, right? The people
Mm-hmm.
over 18 can only vote. Should it be lowered to like 13, 16, 14, 15, maybe?
Mm, maybe we could over this age to 16 years old,
Mhm.
because I think that 16 years old, it is the next step in everybody's life. In this age, something happened in our brain, and
Mhm.
we change the period from teenagers to adult life, in my opinion. But I understand that this period couldn't be used for all teenagers in our world,
Mhm.
because some guy in 16 years old looks like a superhero. He is so big and he's so clever, like Superman. But the biggest part of guys in 16 years old look another. They are
Differently.
they differently, and maybe it is the answer on the question why this age now stands on the 18 years old.
Okay, I have two follow-up questions for you. First of
Okay.
all, why did they take this idea that at 18, you should be an adult. When you turn 18, you are now a, for example, an individual member of the society. You can vote, you can do this, you can do that. You can do like anything you want after you are 18. Like, who decided this? Like, does
Um,
age, like, what is in 18? Like, yes, in 18 that
I
like
think
changes.
that some clever guys, I don't know in what country, maybe in USA, analyze big big amount of information, and they analyze they analyze life experience of humans, and maybe the result of this big analyze was that something happened with humans in the
At this
age of
age.
at this age. Maybe I don't know, but I
Okay.
know
What
that
is your opinion?
in USA, in teenagers at the age of 16 could drive a car. Yeah, it depends
Yes.
on state. In my opinion, I think for me, the age, the 16 years, the 18 years old is okay for our society.
Mm-hmm. It's okay for our society. Okay. So you
And
don't like,
and in your opinion, what do you think
I
about
don't
this?
know. I don't understand why they have chosen. For example, I have different examples. I think I would agree with you that like not for all the people, but for most people, this was the age that they have changed. For example, sometimes I talk to my peers, let's say to my classmates or course mates, and they are talking about some things that are very childish. For example, like when you are like 13, 14, 15, and 16, 17, 18, like teenage years. When you're a teenager, you used to talk about different things, different topics, make like very childish jokes. And they are almost 30 and they are still doing these jokes. They are still laughing at these jokes. For me, it is like very unusual. Why? Like we are not living in a fairy tale world. We are living in a real world, and like those jokes, those things, those mindset, and those approaches are not gonna work, and they are not gonna make you happy. If somebody makes a joke about Tom and Jerry, you probably are not going to laugh at it. Why? Because it's fairy tale. And if
I,
somebody makes
I
a
think
joke
that
like an adult,
mhm. I think that this type of people chose so simple life road. It is the answer on your question, and you should understand that if somebody chose this lifestyle, the finish of this lifestyle will be not so good as possible.
I understand. I understand. For example, if they joke about Tom and Jerry, you're an adult person almost 30, or like the next time, let's say it's not this group is not your friends, and you go to this group and they sit down and they're like, okay, do you have a house? Okay, have you got a car? Okay, do you have a business? Okay, do you have a job? Yes. Okay, I have 13 jobs, like certain jobs in some positions. Like, what is your position and how much money do you make? Okay, so what are your plans for the next 5 years or for the next 1 year? Okay, this is different conversation. They're not gonna ask you, oh, do you love like Tommy and Jerry? That's like very unusual.
Mhm.
And on the other hand, I also know some friends, brothers, little brothers, and my own nephews at the age of like 13, like they know things that I knew only when I was 18 years old. They know a lot of things and they are adults. Whenever you tell them, they sit with you, okay, brothers, so this is it, this is it. So I need to learn this, I need to learn that. And I need to go to the gym to be smart so nobody like beats my ass up. And those are very smart things. I've never observed like at the age of 13 these things, you know? I had goals, but my goals were completely different. I did not have the realization that that is it. And I think my follow-up next question, second question is, when was the age that you now think was the age that you really realized, like, what is good, what is for you, and like you were smart enough to make good choices, good decisions? What was this age in your opinion?
Mm, what do you mean about right choices? Right choices about what topics? About
Like any for example, when you're let's say 14 years old or 15 or 16 years old, you just like, oh, who is a beautiful girl? But when you're 22 years old, you think, oh, who is
okay,
the right
okay.
girl to get married?
It's for me.
Or I give you another example, like let's say a career option. When you're 16, you say like, okay, how can I make another like let's say $100? Okay, so my brother is offering me a little job in the village, or I don't know, somewhere, or help with computer editing photos. Let me do that and make $100. And as the age of 22, like you sit down and think, okay, how can I like save as much as I can, and how can I learn this skill and apply it to make thousands of dollars? And you are happy to sit in a house and learn a skill or several skills
Understand.
for several months. So this is a smart age,
Um,
in my opinion. What was this age for you?
21, 22 years old.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. That is was the age.
But also I think that now I am 27 years old, and I'm also not so wise like I want, and I also don't know the answer on
Many.
the I also don't know answers on all questions about my life, and of course uh, mm, if we want to talk about some choices about career, about family, I think that these choices would be more informative, positive at the age,
Smart.
more smart at the age of at the age more at the age of 21 years old and bigger.
Yes. That is exactly what was my age, that I have chosen to do certain things that turned out to be super smart. And
But I
one of
think
them,
it is not it is not the 21 years old. It is not for everybody. I think that the main thing which influence in
our choices, our
and our
decisions.
choices is experience of our life. Maybe, for example, one guy live with his parents in their family home, and everything is okay. But on the other hand, we could find a guy who doesn't ever have the family, and his life road was so hard. And in my opinion, at the age of 20 years old, this guy should be so smart, and because they faced with all problems in his life.
Okay, I agree with you. I agree with you. Okay, next one. Do you know what does mean minimum salary, minimum wage? How
Yeah.
much is minimum wage in Russia?
We can check, but in my opinion, in the level of 15,000 of rubles, maybe. Let's check.
It is 16,000 rubles.
16. Okay.
Yes, minimum wage in Russia.
It
Is
is so
minimum
interesting, but I find that the minimum salary in Russia is 13,000 of ruble.
Wait,
Okay,
did you check it? Google or Yandex?
Yandex. I
Oh,
think
I checked it on
yeah.
Google.
Okay,
Maybe Google is old, but
doesn't matter. 13
let's take
and
it 16.
Okay, 16. Okay.
Okay, let's take it 16. Is minimum wage in Russia fair, reasonable, and livable? Is it a livable age? Fair, reasonable, and livable age.
Of course, it is not
Wage.
fair. Of course, it is not fair, but it is. If you ask me, it is possible to live on this salary, and I will answer to you, yes, it is possible. But the quality,
Survive?
but it depends on
The quality.
quality of your life. It is possible, yes, but you should eat so simple food. You should I don't know.
Buckwheat?
What is it?
Buckwheat, water, bread,
Yeah.
grecka.
Maybe.
Okay.
And you could live in not in your personal apartments. You could live in общежитие,
Dormitory.
dormitory. Yes, it is possible, but in my
Why did
opinion,
you said it's not fair and reasonable? It's livable, but it's not. Is
no,
it
it is not.
reasonable?
It is not fair, but it is livable.
Livable, yes. Is it reasonable? Do they really deserve that much?
Repeat, please.
Reasonable?
Reasonable.
Разумный? Это разумная зарплата?
Not, it is not reasonable, but I think I don't know
Do they
why.
deserve more?
Yeah, I don't know why Russian government chose this level of salary as minimum. I don't know. Maybe I understand that Russia is so unusual country with big and small cities, and maybe in small cities a lot of thousands of millions of people live on this salary. I understand it, but I think it is not their exit on this situation. The Russian government should change the minimum salary in our country. I think that the minimum salary on maybe 30 or 40 thousand of rubles could be more fair for everybody. And I think that millions of people in from Russia support this idea.
Thank you for your great ideas. So next one then. How can cyberbullying be prevented? Do you know what does mean cyber?
Yeah.
Okay, and bullying, bully?
I understand it. Yeah.
Okay. So
I think that
how can you
cyberbullying
stop it from happening?
Cyberbullying is now so big problem for modern society, and everybody could face with it. And of course, there are
Exactly, everybody, including children.
Doesn't matter about who you are, child, woman, man, doesn't matter. And of course, there are lots of software nowadays which could prevent you from cyberbullying. And of course, you could, if you don't face with cyberbullying in the net, you could understand that the net, it is not the same like real life, and not all people in the net is your friends. It is okay if you are so friendly, you start communicate with a big amount of people, but in all this situation, you could be
Get hurt,
yeah.
bullied. You could be bullied, you mean?
No, not you could not. Yeah, осторожно,
Careful.
careful, yeah. And you could change your passwords every month. You could not send your private photos for some
You don't have to.
people.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think it is two rules which could prevent you from cyberbullying.
Okay, I feel like in this case, I think the parents should be very responsible. For us, I think very little people understand this, and there are certain things that are very unacceptable and undesirable, which bloggers or certain people do. Maybe they do it, not maybe, but I know that they do it to get some views, likes, and make some money. And some people get it very seriously. And the worst part is that the people make up their minds according to these people. That is the worst part, in my opinion. For example, they show you, like, let's take movies, and nowadays this, like, some types of videos on these platforms. Let's say they show you certain types of, let's say, behaviors, like with other people, with girls, with women, with men, with husband, with wives. But in reality, in real life, that is not acceptable in every family. And I think that is not acceptable probably in most families. That is not acceptable in most cultures. But in like on the internet, you cannot, for example, stop it from appearing in certain countries. And these videos posts do appear, there will be like a small or maybe a big contingent of the community of these online platforms that they do not agree and leave nasty comments like under those videos. And if like the bigger contingent who agree with everything in this, for example, post, they try to fight with each other and do wrong things. And if you are like, I think very few percentage of the people understand, like there are few percent of the people understand that this is just an online platform. And if you want to change something, if you want other people to accept your ideas, you need to do a lot of things. Like even online, you need to sit down, create a very valuable content, whether it is video, post, or other stuff. So, and you need to do it for maybe like at least 5 years to get some followers and to ask the people to believe in your values and so on. But just sitting down there and just complaining or maybe insulting each other, that is not a good way to solve this problem, or it does not make either you or the other people happier, but you're just like wasting your time, energy. And if it is like an adult, that is fine, but if it is kid, I think that is very destructive for a kid's mind. In this case, parents in this case should be very responsible and take care of the phones and the history of their kids' YouTube, and completely stop using
I think
TikTok.
that parents should control time what their children spend in the net. It is so
100%.
important.
Apps,
And also,
time,
and
watch
apps,
history.
yeah, I agree with you, but not all parents support of this idea, because
Mhm.
there are a lot of children in our society who looks like a zombie with a smartphone.
I hope that would not be our children.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope so. So thank you so much for participating. I have learned like a lot of things from your ideas about the ages, especially when they need to start to vote, and a lot of other stuff. Thank you for participating. Have a great day. See you in our next
Thank you.
lesson.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.